Elevator Studios, not this studio, working with a guy called Mark Lewis.
So what kind of bands are you working with?
Really guitar band. Mark's trying to find a real guitar band from Merseyside.
Yeah. So you just do loads of local bands?
Local-ish.
Yeah.
As far as Manchester was Merseyside.
Yeah. So it's on the Mersey. So it's just like working through loads of demos, doing sessions, just trying to find something out there.
Yeah, something different.
Yeah.
Which was Manchester.
Yeah. So that just turned up as a demo, it's like a set.
It did, yeah. It turned up as a demo. We took it in the studio. Straight away I thought, well, this is a different level completely.
What was it about that demo that was striking?
They just seemed to do whatever they wanted, and it sounded great. And everyone else was trying really hard. They just seemed to be, you know what it's like. You hit the Sex Pistols, you don't know what it is, but it's amazing. Yeah. It was one of those moments when you think, this is good, this. So tell Mark it's good. He comes and listens and goes, no, this is really good. We need to do a single. So we did Take It Easy the following week in a studio called The Windings. A week and a half later.
So what was it like the first time you actually worked with the band?
They were just chaotic. Paul was intelligent.
Yeah.
You can tell he knew what he was doing, and they were just kids around him doing whatever he said.
So he's really calling the shots?
Oh, yeah, completely. Yeah. No one played anything unless...
How old would they be at that time?
Well, he was 24.
Yeah.
And they were about 17 to 21.
Yeah, so it's quite an age gap in that time.
Yeah. So he had a couple of years, and his uncle had been a musician in a band called Supercharge. So he'd hung around studios. Yeah. I'll tell you about that.
So was the band tight? So was it very much like, like you say, he was calling the shots, etc. Did it feel like a band in a sense? Was the band a tight band, on top of the ideas, all members?
Well, what they did, they used the drum machine in a different way. So they would use the drum machine first, and everyone played on top of it. So they were like really tight straight off, apart from the drummers who might be a little bit loose.
It's difficult though, and right now the technology is easier to play.
Oh yeah, in those days I'd have to nail them and get the drums to take after take. Now they can do it in 2 takes, stick all the best bits together and you got it.
So what were you bringing to the session, this first session?
Probably my experience really, because I'd worked with American guitar bands, I'd worked with Pixies and bands like that, so I was coming in having already worked with really hard-hitting guitar bands.
So was it some of the sounds they wanted that they couldn't quite get, that you could actually bring in forward?
That's right, yeah. And they bring records in and say, we want that snare sound, is there any way we can get that hi-hat sound? How do you get that guitar sound? So you get a JTM 900.
Wow, so they've really listened.
Yeah.
So what kind of records are they bringing in that they wanted the sounds from?
Well, Paul liked Prince's stuff, and I'd worked as a line producer for Prince a couple of years earlier, so I was kind of au fait with the drum machine side of it. But he would just ask more and more, how do we do this, how do we do that? We'd go to the record shop, buy the record, listen to it, work out how you did it, get hold of the equipment and start doing it. Because I would know how it would work, we'd have to go and get the gear, so
you were quite lucky fine for them. A lot of the sounds they wanted, you already
it worked out really good for all of us, so you knew which amp they would need, and they would just fly. You try and make a day really easy in the studio, so they're just flying all the time.
Well, because this is because of the first session, it obviously wouldn't be the first time they've been in the studio because they made the demos, but they're quite green in a sense. But, so was there a lot of space for you to actually add things in there? Were you suggesting things, say...
Yeah.
So what sort of things did you bring to the party?
Things like Leslie Cabinet's vocal doublers and say, try put the guitar through this, try singing through that. Have you ever tried playing this way? Have you ever tried doing this? And try this pedal. And we do all this, and you'd see Paul just starting to grow. He was collecting knowledge all the time, and it made all the rest of them go away and practice. Because they realised, and we all realised, they could be really good at it.
Yeah. So was this the first time that the band actually be taken serious by somebody outside themselves, or even the first time the band had taken themselves seriously?
A bit of both, really, because they told me they'd done one original demo. And they'd gone into the studio, they'd sold everything they could to get about $2,000 together, and got into the studio, and they set up and they played, and the guy in the studio said, fucking
Really?
Yeah. He said, I'll record you and you do what you want with it. And I left him messing around in the studio. So they took the multi-track home and slung it under the bed. I thought, well, he must be rubbish. And then a cassette was made of it and got passed round, and you think, shit, that's not rubbish, that's really good. But they didn't know they were as good as they were. So they immediately tried to be like the Verve or Oasis, thinking that's what you're supposed to be. But you hear, I've got something to play in a bit, where you hear they sound more like Oasis than themselves. And then they start to develop back into themselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's very hard for a young band to have the confidence in its own sound.
Yeah. And I've seen it with the Pixies, with Charles, being the guy who knew what he wanted and everyone else playing. So I'd recognise what Paul could be in a different musical era.
We do a lot of different bands have different dynamics, obviously. I mean, say like the Pixies or bands, so you've got like one person who kind of has the thing in their heads.
Yeah.
But other bands are different, aren't they? I mean,
That's right.
It's a fairly unique situation that somebody has the whole thing.
I think it is, yeah. But I think with Chad being is very much a big buddy at the time, if Paul wanted something, Chad would stay up all night learning it. So maybe the next time we work, Chad would be more on the ball on guitar, so Paul would split duties with him, and then each member would become more creative because they started to see that someone was listening to what they were doing and going, no, that's really good, do more of that, and they were building on it. So they were learning all the time, and we eventually got to this studio via another studio called Angel Share, where the Stone Roses had recorded in there, but they brought in about £1 million worth of gear and left. And we go in there and we're left with another pile of shed gear. Yeah. And then you've got to get the guy from the record label down, Keith Rosencrantz, and say, look, I know you think this sounds shit, but listen to it in the studio. And he listened in the studio and went, I've just heard 5 hit records, what's going on? Yeah. And so we got brought here so we could like re-amalgamate all what we were doing in these small studios.
So why did you particularly choose this place? I mean, obviously, this place is built as being like a London-style studio in the North, and it's like the poshest studio in the North of England.
Yeah, I just happened to have worked here on a couple of bands prior to that, so I knew it, and I knew some of the associated engineers would be, into it, would help. So we came here, and also as well, they lived in Chester, so it was either here or go to Manchester. But here just seemed better because you've got, in the real studio, you've got all kinds of little back rooms where Paul could have his songwriting den, a little room where someone could rehearse, and we could set up, because the record label really, once they were involved, they come down on a Monday and say quietly to me, you've got till Thursday to give us a single. And you go, come on lads, let's just see what we can do.
So they set a deadline about that.
It was, cause
no pressure then.
Well, Keith didn't think it would go as well as it would in the first place, and the first time I met him, he said, well, but I'll take it easy. I'll take it easy. What else? Yeah, no, what was the one after take it easy? Anyone know? Well, anyway, we put one out, and it went straight to the charts at number 10 after the parlophone saying, if this hits 73, we'll be happy. And they didn't press any more than the original 10,000 copies. So that was it. And he kind of went, whoa, Jesus, where'd that come from?
So that check got put even more pressure on it.
Well, yeah, but suddenly they realised they had something that they hadn't spent very much money on. People had gone out and bought. It's like, these guys are all there now. There's something in the grooves,
So what did this studio bring to the sound?
Well, all these areas you can see here are replicated in the studio next door. So you've got the stone room and the wood room. This was an open space where you could put a kit, get the sound from the stone room so you could get a more echoey drum sound. Because this was all pre-digital technology, so even with the outboard the studio had, there wasn't a great amount of things you could do. That's when I started buying, and Paul started buying equipment. I went to Edinburgh, to a farm in Edinburgh to get a Mellotron from a farm that was for sale.
Yeah, we don't make it.
No, and this one had been repaired by some boffin who'd moved there, and we got it here so we could get a Mellotron, because you couldn't just have one. If someone like the Stone Roses had one, you had no chance of getting that one. They weren't going to let you anything, in case you were any good.
So how much actually took place in the room rooms here that we're in now? Did you do much in here? Or
it was always next door. But
so was anything actually done in here at all?
Oh yeah. Now and again we come through to here because maybe it would be a kind of no. You've got to get back in and find some B-sides. So we would have probably booked in this one, just to get in because we get a continuation of sound. Because they were quite similar, the two rooms the way they sounded.
I always thought this was better.
I thought it was.
That room was too big.
Well, that pillar's in the way. There's a pillar in front of the mixing desk, and when you get a weird reflection, so you're trying to work really quietly, and the band want to work loud, so you work quiet, turn it up for them, turn it down again, because when you turned it up, the sound bounced against the back of your head, and you couldn't hear what you were doing.
Yeah.
But obviously this made a better
controllable, yeah.
But it was a great control.
So would the band record live or would you layer it up?
We used to do live at first, and so we got something that felt really good against the click or against the drum machine still, but there was something that would happen, so you would kind of go, otherwise that's good, but that's just good.
Just because the people playing together and have that.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have to go back in, like a lot of people, the other way of recording is to record live, then everyone goes back in and does their parts again, which I never quite understand, once you got it together and everyone's playing, it just slightly slipshod, it just sounds magical.
Yeah.
But would you, sometimes it works, actually going back and doing it again. Would you do that?
We did that as well. And then we started to get into layering guitars. What I'm going to play more bits of is She Makes My Nose, because no one's heard the demo. So I'll play it the demo, and then I'll play different layers as they come on the track. Different drummer auditions, people who audition for the band. And finally, the real master just broken into bits.
Well, let's do that now, because it's always utterly fascinating how people, they come in and from the demo to the final track, they get to go. Yeah. So a lot of time, like the Rolling Stone singles of the 60s, the magic is Brian Jones just adding that one extra instrument on.
Whatever it is, People looking at stuff like that.
And it's like when you hear those Beatles demos, they're just kind of plonking away, and suddenly something happens.
Exactly, yeah.
And you always want to know what that thing is, the Quicksilver.
Yeah, so they tend to have that.
So could you play the demo, see if we can find the magic moment?
This is just the intro to She Makes My Nose Bleed, because I'm sure you all know the track. You don't know it this way.
So you could hear the Oasis influence.
Yeah, they were really kind of looking at the bands round and thinking we need to be kind of hard hitting. And then when we got here, the first thing we did was change the guitars slightly, which sounds like.
So was there a discussion about this? Was it like, that is a bit too much like Oasis, or was it a bit more subtle than that, or?
It kind of you kind of knew that there was something in Paul that was cleverer than this.
Cult following.
But the thing was, he would say, I'm trying to find my voice. I'm not sure where my voice should be. I'm not sure where the band's voice should be. So we'd start there, and then we'd start to refine it. So there's a slightly different intro version now, where all happens here is the guitars clear up a bit, and there's a semblance of thinking going on now. So we just play this intro.
Okay. Taking the noise out, it actually makes it louder.
Yeah.
It's like more space in it.
So we're starting to get a little bit more sophisticated. It's a great example, this, because this is one of the earlier ones. And then others happened in between, and we kept coming back to this one for about 9 months as we kind of knew more what to do with it. Yeah. It did just sound like this big rock blaster, but eventually it gets very sophisticated as I play different bits.
So would you go through lots of different guitars?
Yeah.
And amps just to get that?
Yeah, we hired every amplifier you could get from John Henry's and lined them all up in the studio. It cost me 10,000 quid. And we spent 4 days auditioning amps till we kind of went, we like that one, we like that one, and we like that one, and we like that one. And the rest all went. Mark Lewis is going, doesn't matter, it's just EMI's money, spend it.
Those were the days, weren't they?
Oh Christ, yeah. Because say with the Pixies, it'd be like 500 quid and that's it. Go.
Yeah. Well, sometimes a small budget can force you out.
Oh yeah, but it does obviously, all these bands become successful one way or another.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you do 4 days of guitars and amps, how do you actually remember which ones sound good or not? Well, we had to drive yourself completely mad.
We had to kind of audition them, and then we had to set the amps up in the control room. I think it was actually this control room we did the auditions in. And then you kind of go, well, we really like that one, write down what it actually did.
Very methodical.
Yeah. And just build the whole thing. It's almost like what I call a non-art day, because on an art day you don't want to be messing around with this stuff. You just want to go, that sound, band's happening, let's get it.
So it's a very symbiotic process, isn't it? Like, he works like Paul, he's got an idea what he wants to sound like, but he can't quite articulate it.
That's right, yeah.
You've got an idea what they should sound like in your head as well.
That's right, yeah.
And it's meeting somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle.
So how do you discuss it? How do you articulate this? Because music's a very hard thing to talk about in words, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you know yourself, because you're in the band. It's that thing when you go, I want the hard-hittingness of that record, but I need the softness of that. How do they get that to do that in that song?
Yeah.
And so you're piecing it all together so we know what we're looking for.
So a lot of the time it's your job to basically articulate it.
That's right, yeah. Try and work out what it is and where you get it from and how do we do it.
Yeah. So what else have you got to play us here?
Well, I'll play you drum auditions. I'll play a band, I don't know if you've ever heard of a band called Radiohead, but an ex-drummer of them actually auditioned for Manson.
How do you do a drum audition? I mean, obviously, everyone sets up a room and plays, or is there a different way of doing it?
We just set him up and give him a couple of tracks. And
so he's playing along to like, not with the band, just...
No, it's the band.
It's the band, okay, cool. Yeah.
We were 48 tracks, so you've got the song on one track, and then you have a 24-track machine. Recording drum auditions one after another. So, this is the guy that didn't make Radiohead who plays on this one.
When you audition a drummer, you just play the piece of music, or is there like a brief, or you just leave the poor sod to just make it up as you go along?
Well, the two poor sods would be me and the drummer. Yeah. So I'd come in with the drummer and we'd set up and I'd teach him the song, and then the band would come in cold and kind of stand up back and have a listen while he did the audition, which is fair enough because it's their band, but they don't want to be around all day while the drummer's just setting up and, you know what I mean? And then they just go, no.
What they're looking for? They're looking for a specific thing, or is it just like it doesn't feel right at all?
To be honest, I think they just look for a mate, someone they can get on with.
Yeah, that's quite
it's the in-between chat. You know what it's like. You could work with anyone really. You could have George Michael in your band, but you don't get on with him.
So I mean, most of these drummers could actually do the drumming that's expected of them, just how they work as people.
That's right, yeah.
So how many drummers did you audition?
Well, we auditioned another guy called Roy Martin, who lives locally actually, twice. He insisted on coming back for another audition, and he said no both times. It's a shame, really. It was really good. But again, he'd been to America, though. Maybe he just knew more than they did. And they wanted someone in their gang as you all would if you're in bands.
Yeah, because you spend a lot of van hours with this.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
You want someone to go, no, I remember when I played this gig. And you haven't.
Oh, you don't want anybody bigger than you in your band.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the Radiohead thing. It was Keith Wozencroft who suggested the Radiohead drummer. Because he was heavily involved in Radiohead, as I said earlier.
Yeah. So, okay, what else have you got in the magic box?
Well, we'll play Roy Martin's drum set.
Okay. Have you just mixed him loud, or is he actually a harder hitter?
He was a very hard hitter.
Yeah, it's a pretty powerful drummer.
Yeah, he was more of a stadium rock drummer. He'd been with someone like Journey or something in America for a few months.
That's not going to fit. That's too much a different
Well,
world.
exactly, it was.
Yeah.
You know, and they were looking for someone who was like almost jazzy, but with the way Andy was, he was like quite clever.
Yeah. So what else have you got there? There's lots of little things.
Well, I'll play.
Nothing nobody's ever heard before.
Yeah, well, the people obviously know the album version of Dark Magus. I don't know if you know the original demo of it, which is nothing like it. So I thought I'd play a bit of that. So like this.
So a demo like that, were they recorded at a local studio, or is that like a home recording, or like a rehearsal room recording?
It was still in Angel Studios.
Yeah.
We were just putting everything down in some form and developing it.
Like a sketchbook,
Like a sketchbook, really, to work out what it could be, because everyone will know it ended with slow piano one built. We still haven't kissed my arse, let it light till the very end.
So when you get like, again, what's the creative process here? You get a track like that. Do you sit on this track for a long time as well, listen to it over and over, thinking of ideas, like the band does as well?
Well, sometimes we just say, like in the case of that one, I just said, it sounds like everything else. It started to sound the same on Paul Green. And then we'd have an argument with the band as if it was their fault. And then we'd go away and Paul would say, well, maybe if I try it on piano and see where that takes it. And then within about 4 or 5 takes, suddenly it's slowed down, it's got moody. And you're thinking, we're onto something again here, this is right now.
So it's a lot of this, like, changing instrumentation, like, that Brian Eno thing where he just gets the cards out.
Oh, yeah.
Is it like that, like a simplified version of this idea of, like, you know, everything's on guitar, switch piano or switch this, bring in strings. Anything to create a creative curveball, just to make everyone think of a track a different way.
That's right. Well, I also threw the band onto a different thought process, which Paul would have several sketches in his head, but the others could only play so much unless they saw something developing, and then they might just go in the other room and come back and say, well, I've actually got a part for this if it goes that way. I can think, well, no, okay, everyone's getting in on this now.
So a lot of the creativity is actually done in the studio.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of bands will rehearse, get the whole thing ready, then go and record it.
Yeah, there was nothing like that.
So this is all basically, I mean, it's a luxury to be in that position in the band, and then we can actually, like the Beatles did as well in the end.
Well, it was a Beatles thing, the idea that, and I had to sum up the record label for that, saying there's got to be one version of each song, and we're going to work on the one when we think you've got the one, rather than him coming in, you know, the record guy keeps saying, what's it like faster, what's it like slower? We didn't want that, we wanted to keep it in this building, so we knew what it could be.
Would the record label get involved quite a lot, or do you lock them out?
They would come down just every now and again to make sure, A, we were here, B, we were doing something, and sometimes C, did you have a hit single to play with, please?
I mean, in these kind of situations, how do you keep the creativity levels up high? Because, I mean, to be creative hour after hour, after day after day after day, it's pretty tiring.
It was really hard.
I mean, again, that's your role, isn't it? Because you have to, like, get people in the mood to be that creative. How would you do that?
I deal with the record label as well at the same time. So they said, we need you in London to talk about this. I'd have to go, because they couldn't go, because they would talk objectively from their point of view. I had to have an outside view for the record label, whilst being in the band's gang.
Yeah, so you've got a foot of both camps.
Well, yeah. And then try and explain to the record label why the band were doing this. And then they'd hear it, and everyone would go, oh, that's amazing. But try to explain music to people who are creative, like businessmen music.
Yeah.
You know,
of course. Yeah. So when you're working with the band to keep the creative levels up, I mean, do you have like little tricks that you do? You know, obviously not like the guy who did the first demo and told them they were crap. Which is an unbelievable thing to do in the studio, especially when you're.
We got shopping trips.
Just have breaks. I mean,
have breaks. Go around second-hand record shops, see what we can find.
Yeah.
Maybe find a Dionne Warwick record, come back and turn it into one of the tunes. Take some melody off it. Rebel Without a Quilt started off as a Dionne Warwick record.
So there's a lot of record collection rock going on here.
Yeah. And then it might be kind of like, okay, let's go and buy t-shirts. Let's go and buy shoes.
Yeah.
Or something. I used to have a thing that would always make the band laugh. We would say, emergency fashion change, guys. And they'd go off, and a bit later they'd all come back wearing something else to see if I'd notice.
So it's a lot of fun as well.
Well, try and keep it light, really, because it could be very heavy. Because of the record label coming down and saying, well, do you think this is a single? You know, and maybe sometimes some of the guys in the band are like, no, really no. And he'd come through and listen and go, that's amazing. And they go, I always knew it was.
Well, bands are always the worst people at picking secrets out.
But they think, I mean, you know, there's a story that Paul has told me about one of the tunes, but he just didn't like his vocal on it no matter what. And when the record label wanted to put it out, he would put his career on the line rather than have the record go out with him unhappy with his vocal performance, which is fair enough, you know. But they were just cold-blooded, saying, put it out, you're singing on it, people don't need to know more, which is the truth, as we all know.
Well, if you're in the band, you're stuck with it the rest of your life. That's the problem, isn't it?
You know, if it's good enough for Michael Jackson, it's good enough for Paul.
Fair enough as well. So, I mean, what you said, like, you know, you change instrumentation on tracks. I mean, what was the thing you worked on the hardest the most? I mean, would it be vocals, or vocals go down in 1 or 2 takes, or would there be a lot of discussion and thinking about vocals as well?
Not really vocals, because you can count on Paul. You always need Paul to deliver. We were always looking for something different with the rhythm section, or maybe the arrangement. How can we knock a hole in this and have something else happen? And we started to record sections away from the tune as well. And we developed a section, if it was any good, we'd go through the painstaking thing of flying it back into the tune.
Wow.
If you remember, you'd have to line up 2 multi-tracks manually and try to put one into the other. And then Radiohead copied us doing it.
In a way, when people used to cut tape, the splice tape, it sounds better.
It does, yeah. You can cut echoes off and have a dead sound, you know.
Yeah.
I do it digitally now, anyone can do it.
So this is really interesting. So you can actually record a completely different piece of music at random, just drop it to the middle of the track.
That's right, yeah. I mean, Grey Lantern's full of that. It's 2 or 3 pieces done about a year and a half away from the album.
So, why is that just to create deliberate curveballs, just to stop tracks sound the same, just to make people go, what that's kind of work?
Somewhere in there was a sense of what the album could be.
Yeah.
And it would be like, probably mostly Paul would come in and say, that bit there, why couldn't that bit go in that part there?
Yeah.
And you go, right, fine, okay, see you later, let's get it in that bit.
Yeah. That's pretty inventive.
Yeah.
It's risk-taking, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, but like, you know, he nicely says, I've got it on tape, but you can't play here, but he just says, I just don't give a fuck. If it's not my way, I don't want to go on else.
And was there like a real element of trying to push boundaries as well? I mean, obviously you come in and you've got the little shadow Oasis on them, understandable for the young band at that time.
Yeah.
But very quickly this idea that they want to make music that's trying to be groundbreaking, trying to push the envelope forward.
Yeah.
Was that the way people talk about it in the studio?
These were like an extreme band. Because once Paul realised what we could do, it was like an open mind saying, well, what can we add to that? What else can we do? Can we do this? Can we do that? So it's a growing confidence.
Yeah.
Which I said when I play, I'll end by playing the stripped down version of Nosebleed so people can hear a lot of the background parts you don't really hear in the mix, or you don't realise what they're doing until you hear it open and by itself. It's quite interesting. I put this together in the middle of the night last night, and when I heard it myself, I kind of thought, well, yeah, people don't realise how sophisticated they were within 8 months of having never been in a big recording studio.
Yeah.
Which is something really, because the Smiths, as you know, spent a couple of years building an absolute Johnny Marr, knowing what he's doing. But these were like 3 times quicker.
Yeah. So you're going to play that now then?
I'll play it now. Yeah. So, you've never heard it like this before.
Turn it up. I lied to my God and gave it all up. If it were bringing on down forever.
Thinking there was the stat because he's got a really melodic voice. Was a lot of work on melodies as well?
Once the song stuff developed, Paul kind of owned up to having this, just saying, this great voice. And he was worried at first that it maybe sounded too sweet. So he was trying to sound tough, but the voices were tough, the verb were tough. But then the sweetness started to come through. So I think quite naturally, even in that got less aggressive as it went along, and so did he. The aggression got controlled, so we could put across what he felt, the emotion he was trying to get. I think that's the learning curve of in a studio, because when you're in the studio for 8-9 months, 6 days off, you eventually just learn the whole room, you know.
And as I've said before, the actual melodies themselves, was there a lot of work on those? Would that be a two-way process? Or would that be very much his department, the vocal melodies?
It kind of became obvious in the end. I think it sounds a strange thing to say, but you knew what a Manson harmony was, and you knew what a Manson melody was, really.
Yeah.
So, like, if you heard a Prince record, there's always things in the record which were like other things that he did. But this gave Paul the experience to actually just bring it out of his mind what he was trying to do, because he was a good piano player as well as a guitarist. And I think at first he thought, I can't be seen playing the piano, but then the piano became a big thing on this particular album.
Yeah, no, also, if you play piano, you're very good at melodies.
Well, exactly, yeah, it's all there.
Yeah. Okay, so is there any questions from the floor?
I just wondered when they spoke about Shabik recently, whether anyone realised that something like
Well, it actually sounded like Oasis, cigarettes and alcohol, and then we found out it sounded like Brian Adams. And then I think Paul said recently, because we talked.
It's not a criticism, by the way.
No. Paul blamed me recently on a Twitter saying, yeah, and it took me 20 takes to get it, so he liked it.
Hi, Ronnie. In the back of the convention programme, there's an early track listing for the album, and there's a song that I don't think we've heard, and I wondered if you have any insight on it. I think it's called Inonimina. Inonima.
Oh, yeah, no, it's, oh Christ. I would have brought that one, but no.
Now you're teasing. Yeah.
It's like the 12th track of the 11th track album by...
Yeah, no, I think when I did the convention last time I might have played a stripped down version of that, because there was 5 takes of that. And it was just like, kind of like a silly love song that Paul insisted on doing, and really it was his insistence. And we all kind of went, oh, Christ. And then by about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we kind of got it, could see what he was trying to do. Because he, quite often, like with the Dark Mavis or the Stripper Vicar or Drastic Sturgeon references, they had another meaning altogether that just made him laugh with the fact that he did that. But then he could start doing that with songs, so he knew what he was trying to say with the song. And then by the time we got near the end, you kind of think, yeah, I kind of get this. It's almost like turning the Smith song inside out and showing you how it could be another way. But, as his confidence grew, the ideas grew,
So is it something we've heard, or is it something that we've got no idea what it sounds like?
Yeah, well, I haven't got it with me this time. I'll have to come again.
That's for next year.
Thank you.
Okay, one more question.
When you played One of Space, the record the first time, they know they can get out of hit, they straight away. Yeah, instant hit.
Yeah. The interesting story about that was the lyric. Because there's not much to say about the song, because it's the lyric that did it. And upstairs there's a club, but it used to be the food bar for the 2 studios. So they've got this track, it's another Manson track. Up there's a football match on, so we're watching a football match. What's his name? Coleman, the football commentator.
John Watson.
Oh, John Watson, is it? Yeah, so suddenly on the telly he goes, oh, he's moved into a wide open space. Paul writes it down, and from that develops the whole lyric, and then you know what to do with the song then. So that came a completely different way around. That came off the telly.
It's a really bizarre place to get inspiration.
Well, I think once we're in here for weeks and weeks on end, you start to, like the Beatles did really, they could write a song about anything, or Kinks writing a song about a Waterloo sunset from
Yeah,
you know. So you're starting to like find art.
I think a Waterloo sunset is a bit more evocative than John Watson.
I've got the man in the skin. Football shares.
Okay, well, thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you.
Keep it going, another massive round of applause for Ronnie Stone. And a huge round of applause to John Robb for hosting all the panels today. Thanks very much, John. We're going to, again, another bit of a change round. We're going to start the live music very soon, possibly with the